Hey everyone, I've got an interesting new refrigerator. And I know I do a lot of refrigerator reviews, but this one really stood out to me because it's different. And I like things that are different. It is the Bodega Cooler. This is a drawer refrigerator. Check that out. It's about just over 31 liters, so it stores quite a bit of stuff. I got my drinks, my food, all kinds of good stuff in here. I like this thing. The fact that it's a good size, which is a great weekend fridge, about 30 liters is a good for a family over just a short weekend. For Katerina and I, it's a good 2 or 3 day fridge. Works extremely well, very easy to control. You just got your power, you got your max or eco modes, plus and minus on the temperature. The screen is pretty easy to read. Really, really handy. Now I'll show you a picture of this thing outside of the Jeep so you can see kind of how it's laid out. But on the back where the compressor is, it actually drops down and you can put something like the Blue Eddy AC50 right there. Doesn't take up any additional room. You can put stuff on top so you're not losing space there. And it just opens up straight out of the back of the tailgate, which is super, super cool. Now, it's also designed so you could put this into a cabinet. So if you're doing a van or type of build or something that's more built for that, this can go right into one of those compartments and make things really easy. When you have one that lifts up, you have to be careful about where you put it. You can't put things on top of it. They're typically a lot taller. Sometimes they can be convenient. Sometimes they can be really inconvenient. For us, this thing is super convenient because of the storage size and how it doesn't really affect our storage capability. Some fridges, I even have to take the soft top, the back, flip it up so I can slide stuff in there that will just miss the shelf that I have in there. This one has plenty of space in here, so no worries there. Now, some other ones that we saw just don't latch very well. This one has a very solid sounding, satisfying click. It holds it in place. I've been wheeling with this thing multiple times. Never had the drawer open, never had it fail, have had zero problems with it. There's an app to control it that works really well. Very happy with the app. It works just fine. We like having app control of a fridge so that we can just easily change settings without having to come around the back. I'll take a minute. I'll show you the app here. It's very basic. We have our current temperature, the running mode that we're in. We can easily change that. The battery voltage, the battery level, turn it on or off. Pretty simple there. Go into our settings. We can adjust it from -4 to +68. Eco mode, switch it over to eco mode. It's going to take less battery to run it. Change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Battery protection, because I run it off a power station, I keep it on low protection. If you're running it off your main battery for your vehicle, you might want to put that on high. So if it pulls too much voltage down, it'll shut off rather than draining your battery and maybe leaving you in a situation where you're not going to be able to start your car. So on a power station, put it on low. Run it on your main, put it on high. Pretty basic. So app works extremely well. Very happy with it. No complaints. Sometimes she'll say, oh, she wants to adjust the temperature because maybe we started off with it as a freezer and we're changing it to a refrigerator, or things are going a little too cool. We want them not to be quite so cold, or vice versa. Just makes adjustments really easy. Not having an app on a fridge, not a deal breaker, I don't think. I really don't think there's too many reasons to have an app for it, but for us, it is a convenience factor, so we like that. It's pretty affordable. Put all the pricing down here below so you can see the price on this thing. It's not super expensive, but we're really, really happy with it. Inside, you have a couple dividers that can go in here so you can easily separate the food. It can hold, just to give you an idea of size, 32 cans of soda. Pretty handy. I've got my Monsters in here, we've got waters in here. Works extremely, extremely well. So the other thing about it is the depth. Now, we don't have a back seat in here, so the length wasn't really that big of a concern. But for other people who do have their back seat in there, just want you to know, you can slide this all the way up against the back seat, and even with a tailgate table, you're able to close the tailgate. That is super cool. It's as if this thing was designed to go in a Jeep. Now, we've run it numerous times, haven't had any problems with it. We've did our testing with it. Let me bring up our test results here. Now, for our testing, we hook it up to an AC70. We fill it about 70% capacity and just see how long it will run. It easily ran for 3 days, not a problem. It was about 72 hours and change, so fairly efficient. Not the most efficient fridge that we've tested, but by far not the worst by any stretch. Really mid-range in terms of efficiency. So we have no problem with running this off power stations all weekend long, not an issue. Combine that with some solar panels, you are good to go. You can run basically indefinitely. On the eco mode, it's going to draw about 35 watts. On max mode, it'll draw 45 watts, and that's going to cycle about every 30 minutes-ish or so. So it's going to cool down, wait for it to warm up, the compressor will kick back on. So even though it's, on that eco mode, you're running 35 watts, it's not 35 watts continuous. You're really doing about 12 watt hours per hour. So it's not bad at all. A 500 watt capacity solar or power station will easily run it for a few days. Not a problem. You go out on a Friday, you're coming home on Sunday, no problem. While you're driving, I recommend you plug it into your cigarette lighter so you're not running the power station while you're driving. Then when you get to camp, put it on a power station, you are absolutely good to go. This is definitely a big win for us. While we were reviewing it, one of the guys who wheels with us quite often, Jason, he liked it so much, he already bought one. He's super happy with it. I really can't say enough about it. It's a fantastic little unit. If you're looking for a mid-size, and this is kind of on the smaller of the mid-size, being a 30 liter, I would call a mid-size being a 40. So it's just under the, kind of the lower end of the mid-size refrigerators that can go down to -4 degrees, or all your, refrigerator temperatures up to like 60 or something. But we run it around 34 degrees. Sweet. Runs absolutely perfectly. We have put it on freezer mode to freeze bottles of water for, just to keep everything, more consistent, but we didn't need to. We found it just ran extremely, extremely well. So looking for a different type of refrigerator, this drawer style may be a good choice for you. I suggest you check it out. I'll have an Amazon link below. If you use that, great. You'll get, I get a couple bucks from it. Doesn't cost you any extra to use our Amazon links. Helps out the channel. But I'm super happy with this. Now we have another Bodega back at home that we're testing out. Not quite, it's not the same as this. It's a top load, but it can run off your standard like DeWalt batteries. So that's kind of cool for going on picnics and things. But let's get back to this one. 31.1 liters, absolutely phenomenal fridge. Like I said, the latching mechanism has been completely solid. Absolutely happy with it. So I am definitely going to make this a high recommendation. if this is the type of style that might work for you. I like it because it's different. It really works for our configuration extremely well versus some of the top loading ones. So absolutely a good buy right here. Super, super happy with it.